Hello again, everyone, and we are back to Zoom for Teachers. And this is part 2 of the video. In this video, I primarily discuss about how you can schedule your meeting and how you can manage those meetings and invite your learners to join the meeting. So this video is pretty much about that. But before starting to the scheduled meeting part, I need to mention one very important point that I have missed in the last video, and it is about the setting options that you'll find in the browser version of your Zoom. So right now I'm in my Chrome browser and I have open zoom.us. And I have opened zoom.us. I have logged into my account and I'm in the setting option of my account. So in these settings, as I have already told you, that there are so many and they are very overwhelming to see at first. So I'm not going to discuss everything right now, and you can, even in your own time, seldomly see that what are the options available to you. But a very important thing to know about these settings is that there are some of the options that are available here. And if you do not open them beforehand, your meeting, you cannot change them while you're in the meeting. So, for example, about the recording. So if you haven't opened the recording option, this toggle is not blue and it's gray. So what would happen is that if you want to record your meeting, you would not see an option given to you of recording in the meeting. And for that purpose, you have to, actually end your meeting and come back to here and open the meeting and restart your meeting again to have this option available to you during the meeting. So it's very important that you, before starting your sessions, just look and go through all of the settings and click on and open the options that you actually need during the meeting, so that you do not have to face any trouble going back and forth into the settings and then start restarting and doing your meetings and stuff. Now let's go to schedule the meeting. So let me just minimize that screen and open my Zoom application. So this is my Zoom application, and in my Zoom application, I can invite participants or my learner to the meeting in two ways. So the one is that I'll start my video right now. So I have started the meeting. Now, when I've started the meeting, I can see the meeting topic, I can see my name, I can see the password of the meeting, I can see the invite link, and I can actually invite anybody into this meeting right now by clicking on this copy link. And when I just copy it, I can go to my email, create a new message, come to this text box here, right click it and paste the link that I have copied. Just write the email address into the to section and the subject here, and I can edit and I can edit my message. For example, dear learner, and whatever I need to write. Okay, I can invite to my learner at my ongoing meeting that is going on right now. So I can just send them the link through email, or I can send them the link through WhatsApp, and they click on it and they come on the meeting. So this is what I could do when I could do it right away. So I do not have to schedule anything or do anything. I just can start my meeting and invite anybody. So this is one way of doing it by clicking on this link here. But there is another way to invite the participants, and that is by clicking on this option of participant. When you click on the participant option, you can see down below the option of invite. When you click on invite, it opens a new dialog box. In that dialog box, there are two options here. One is the copy invite link, and the other one is copy invitation. When you click on this copy invite link, it shows you that the invite link has been copied to your clipboard. So if I go to my email, I can again come over here and paste it so the link appears. And this is how I can, so this is one of the things that I could do. The other way, then again, if we go to invite link, there is another option of copy invitation. So when we just copy invitation, what would happen is that along with the link, a sample invitation got copied, and which looks like this. So there is not so much a difference between these two options. It's just that invitation is just like an invitation which has a proper invitation that I'm inviting you to this Zoom meeting, and invite link just means the link. So it just copy the link. It doesn't copy a whole text alongside with it. So there is no difference between these two. You can just click either of these and still the link will appear, and the participants can join it. The third option of inviting, and the third option that Zoom gives you in this dialog box is the email. So for example, if you click on your, if I directly click on the Gmail, what does it do is it compose an email for me in my Gmail. So I do not have to do anything. See, it's just automatically opens my compose box, and I can invite anybody, whoever I like to. I just need to mention the two. I just need to mention the email in the two option, and that's it. And everything is now written. Subject is written, and everything is written. So this is um. So so these are the three options that you can find in this dialog box, and this is how you can invite somebody into the live meeting. So this is one way to invite your learner to the ongoing live meeting of yours. You can start the meeting anytime and send out the link, and anybody could join your meeting at that time. But as a teacher, I would always suggest you to schedule your meeting beforehand. And why would I suggest that is because that you and your learner are actually meeting on the similar intervals every week or twice a week, or whatever is your criteria, whatever is your schedule with your learner. So when you and your learner are sure about the day and timings of your schedule, that when we are going to meet each other, so why not just schedule the meeting? Because in this way, you do not have to create a new meeting every week, and you do not have to send a new email every week, and your learner doesn't have to wait every week for the email to come up and open that email and just follow the link. What would happen is that through Zoom, you can create a reoccurring link based on your schedule with the learner. And with that reoccurring link, you can do your learner and you would have a simplicity of using only one link to come back again and again to the different intervals of time. If you open this option of schedule in Zoom application, so it will open a new window, and in that new window, you can actually write a topic of your meeting. Mostly, what I do is that I would write online English class with Humera. Either I give this meeting my name, or I would do, for example, my student name. My student name is Shema. So this is what exactly I do. So this is a very simple topic that I give to my meetings, but obviously you and your learner can decide what topic or what kind of word you actually both of you relate to it, and you can just give it the name of the topic. Then you can decide a date and starting time, and then the ending date and ending time. Now, just underneath the date and time, you can see that there is an option called recurring meeting. If I click on that, what happened is that Zoom has converted this scheduled meeting into a repeat event. And with repeat event, what happened is that anybody could come into this meeting at any time, any day by clicking on this link. But this is not what we want. We want our learners to come at a particular time and a particular day only by using that link. We can do that by going into our browser version of Zoom account. So I'll talk to you about it in a bit. Right now, what I do is I just unclick this reoccurring meeting, and let's see what are the other options available on this window. So The other option is meeting ID. This is actually selected by default. This meeting ID that says generate automatically. So I would say that just let it be like this, because you and your learner would be very confused by using this option. So I would not really suggest that. Password is just, you can say, it's a security protocol of Zoom, and it is, you can say, already default. It is already selected by default, so you cannot select and unselect it. Especially, you cannot do that in the free version of the Zoom. Then the other option is that do you want your video to be on and your participant video to be on whenever you and your participant enter into the meeting? You can always open your video during the meeting and close your video during the meeting. So do not worry about this option if it's click on off right now. You can obviously open your camera and can have a meeting. So this is not a permanent thing. This just only asks you, do you want your video to be on or off upon entering the meeting? It asks you which calendar do you like to save. So do you have a iCal calendar, do you have a Google Calendar, Outlook, or other calendar? So whenever you click on any of the calendar, it just opens that calendar and save this scheduled meeting on it. Then in advanced option, we have that, do you want a waiting room or not? I have heard so many queries from SAVTE volunteers that how we disable the waiting room. So you can either enable waiting room. For example, this box is checked. When you uncheck it, your waiting room is disabled. So it depends on you. After waiting room option, we have an option of join before host. And what would this option do? If this option is open, so what would that do is that your participant, means your learner, can enter the meeting without you starting the meeting. So I wouldn't suggest this option to open, because what would happen is that maybe learner would enter the meeting 5 minutes or 10 minutes before the starting time, and when they enter into the meeting they would see that except for them there is nobody else in the meeting, and there is no teacher in the meeting, so they would end up leaving the meeting without knowing that the meeting will start in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and this will create a confusion, and then you have to get you have to get communicate to them that the meeting starts at this time, and all that fuss will be created. So it's better to have waiting room option put on but not this option, because in the what would happen in the waiting room option, that even if your learner enters the meeting 5 minutes or 10 minutes before, they would see a screen that would say that wait before the host starts the meeting. So they will be in a waiting room even if they, so even if they enter the meeting 5 or 10 minutes before, so they would know that meeting will start. We just have to wait for a while. Mute participants upon entry. You can open this option if you do not want any background noises to disturb you while somebody is entering into the meeting. But I wouldn't really suggest that, because what happened with me is that I may mute participants upon entry, but I always forgot to unmute them later in the meeting, and that creates a kind of confusion. Then the last option is about automatically record meeting. So if you open this option, what would happen is that the moment your meeting starts, even if you start the meeting 1 minute or 2 minutes before and your learner is not there, the meeting will be start recording automatically. So this option gives you a leverage that you do not have to on your recording. It just automatically starts and record everything whatever is happening in the meeting. I usually on this option when I'm actually recording my podcast interview. So, and in that podcast interview, my participants, so my interviewees, I have already given me a written consent through email or by signing a document. So when they enter into the meeting, they know that this meeting will be recorded. So they do not have any problem with that. But make sure that if you are recording the meeting, you have to take verbal or written consent before starting the recording. So you cannot have a automatically record meeting option on if you haven't taken a consent. So you have to really make sure about that. And then after that, you just have to click on this blue button of schedule. And when you click on that, You will see a new window appear that will say your meeting has been scheduled and following is the meeting invitation. Then same as we have discussed before, you can just click on this blue button here of copy invitation, and when after copying, you can just go to your email and paste this invitation and send out to your learners. And you can see that your scheduled meeting will come up here. If it's a same day meeting, for example, if it says that my meeting will start in 8 minutes, so it will appear here. But you can also see your scheduled meetings over here. So if your learner or you have missed the link, you can come over here in this meeting section, see this meeting schedule over here, and you can again copy the invitation from here. You can also edit your meeting by clicking on this one, or you can just delete the meeting from here. So I can just delete the meeting. I do not want this meeting right now. By clicking on home, we come back to our main window of Zoom. Now, as I have already discussed, that we cannot schedule a reoccurring meeting defining a particular date and time in the Zoom application. So we have to go to the browser version of our Zoom account. So now let's see how we can actually schedule our classes for particular day and time and can send out the invitation to our learners. So now I will go to my browser. So in my browser, I write zoom.us. I go over here and sign in. Because my account is associated with Google, so I just do sign in with Google. It will ask me which account do I want. So I click on that. Now I'm here in my Zoom account, and from here I can schedule a reoccurring meeting for a particular time and date. So I go to schedule meeting. Schedule a meeting, it shows me a new set of options, and it is very similar to the options that we have discussed before. So here I could write my topic and description if I really need to give it. And then when do I like to schedule my meeting? So I'll decide the date from here. For example, I want to have my meeting on Monday, and I will decide the time to be 3 p.m. Okay, the meeting length will be 1 hour. And when you just select this meeting length, what would happen is Zoom will give you a disclaimer which says that Zoom basic plan, which is a free plan, has 40-minute time limit on meeting with 3 or more participants. So the catch here is that this is an obligation for 3 or more participants, not 2 participants. For 2 participants, you can have meeting as long as 4 hours. So it is a very so it so this is something that will not affect our one-to-one learner. So you can have your meeting goes as long as you want. Then I need to change my time zone because this account or this Zoom account of mine is created in Pakistan. So by default, it has a time zone selected for Pakistan. So I just go here and change my time zone to London. And just underneath the time zone option, I have an option of recurring meeting. When I click on it, it will ask me that when do I like to have my meetings on. So I like to have my meetings on weekly basis, and I want my meetings to repeat once a week. And here I can select which day I want to have my meeting. So I want to have my meetings on Mondays. And here, either you can select an end date from here, or you can select how many occurrences would it be. So Zoom will allow you to have as maximum as 20 occurrences. So by default, it has selected 6 occurrences for me. But for example, I want to follow this schedule for about only 4 weeks. So what I do is I just go over here and select 4 weeks. And maybe you and your learner decide that we are going to change the time and date for next month, so you can do it that too. uh, Again, security is a default protocol of Zoom and you cannot change it. What you can change is the waiting room setting. You can either enable waiting room by opening this option here, which is blue in color, or you can just disable it by clicking it over here, and this option is now disabled. I like waiting room, so I'll just open it. I want my video and my participant video to be on upon entry. And then we can obviously change this setting according to our need during the meeting. And then in meeting options, it's the same thing, that allow participants to join anytime. No, I do not want this option, so I'm not opening it. Mute participants upon entry. I do not want that too, so I'm not opening this option. Breakout room pre-assigned. This is an option for people who are actually conducting conversation groups, and this is a useful activity and practice for them, but not for one-to-one learners. So I'm not going to discuss it right now, right here in this video series. Maybe if somebody requests me to make it for them, I will do it, but I don't think so that it's necessary. Last option is automatically record meeting on local computer. Then I click on save, and when I save the meeting, here is my meeting scheduled. Now you can see that there is all of the information available to me. And just after security, I have this invite link. I can again click on copy invitation. When I click on copy invitation, it shows me the whole invitation. I can just copy meeting invitation, go to my email account, paste it over there, and even I can edit these things. If I do not want these time and date to show up, I can just edit these things. And when you send these email out to your learners, ask them to keep this email safe in the start section of the Gmail account. I have explained this start section of Gmail account to them in the videos, so they know what you're talking about. In the end, you can delete this meeting. There you have an option of deleting. You have an option of saving this meeting as a template. You can edit this meeting from here, and you can also start this meeting. So when you just click on start, it will start in your, it will give you option, do you want to it will give you an option that you want to open an application and start a meeting. The benefit of scheduling a reoccurring meeting is that for all of these meetings that are going to happen from October 12th to November 16th, you and your learner are going to use only this link to accessing all of these meetings. You do not have to generate new link or new email invitation every week for all those meetings. And your learner would know that, okay, fine, I have a meeting every week at 3 p.m. on Mondays. I just go back to my saved email that is in my start section, and I just click on the link, and we come back into the meeting. And all of these meetings will adhere the same settings that you have defined when you are scheduling it for the first time.